A wiry 6'10", Russell blends quickness, desire, and intelligence to redefine the art of defense.
What I used to love to do was determine who would take the shot by physical moves, and then try to block that shot, and a lot of times I'd get it.
With this extraordinary timing, he would hit the ball most of the times underneath the ball. So he just pop it. And most of the times when he blocked the shot, we got the ball.
He was a guy that had such vicious determination as far as winning a ball game, and he had the mind to just use every little thing in the book of fundamentals to beat the other team.
You asked me to pick one player to start a franchise with of all I've ever seen, I'd pick Bill Russell. And of all I've seen today, all I've seen 10 years ago, and all I've seen 20 and 30 years ago. To me, he's been the dominant player that I think in professional basketball.
The most physically dominant player in NBA history, Chamberlain was also among the most versatile.
I like to think of myself as being as complete as I could possibly be, with the exception of the foul line. And if you have a bad day shooting, I always would say, well, Wilt, then you have to go to the boards that much harder. If you have a bad day on the boards, you have to play defense that much harder. But I always, before every game, said to myself, now, this is what I need to do in this game for me to be good in this game and be a valuable asset to my team.
Wilt has achieved records in this league that there is no way they will ever be broken.
Without even feeling ashamed, I was in awe of Wilt Chamberlain. Of course, I remember being in college when I got the newspaper, and the newspaper said that he had scored 100 points, where I thought it was a typographical error. And I found out later that it was true.
If I had to think about people breaking my records once again, see, no, I didn't think about that. No more I think about people breaking my rebound record, or people never fouling out of a game, or centers leading the league in assists. If I really was conscious about thinking about, is anyone going to break this record? I'd have probably put that record way out of sight.
Like all great rivals, the careers of Chamberlain and Russell will be forever linked together.
All the things he did, his team was always a contender. I'd say 85 or 90% of the time they were a team you had to beat to get the championship.
2 seasons after moving west, the Warriors meet the Celtics for the NBA crown.
We were a better team, emotionally, intellectually, and in most cases physically, as a team, as a unit.
Only 2 seasons after he averaged over 50 points per game for the season, Wilt is still the focus of the Warrior attack. However, the balanced team play of the Celtics, with their lineup of all-stars, give Boston a 3-1 lead deep into the 5th game. And in the final moments, it is Russell who seals the victory.
He played for a great basketball team that had a great coach, and he was a great player himself. But you know what? Teams win, not individuals. And that's proven right down the line in every doggone sport.
Before the 66-67 season, Russell becomes coach of the Celtics, and Wilt begins his 2nd full season back in Philadelphia with the 76ers. For the first time in his career, Wilt is part of a talented and balanced team. Their struggle is fierce, and Russell has one of his finest playoff efforts. But Wilt's leadership helps dethrone Boston in 5 games, ending their incredible run of 8 consecutive championships. The finals are almost anticlimactic. The Sixers, proud of their all-time NBA regular season record of 68-13, complete their mission by defeating San Francisco in 6 games. After 7 seasons of individual glory, it is Chamberlain's first taste of ultimate victory. Traded to the Lakers in the summer of 1968, Wilt changes his style of play to complement the great all-around talents of all-stars Elgin Baylor and Jerry West. In their final series together, Russell and Chamberlain are now both defensive specialists. In Game 7, Russell and Sam Jones, in their final game before retirement, lead Boston to a huge first-half lead. The Lakers close the gap, but with under 6 minutes remaining, Wilt hobbles to the bench and does not return. In the last minutes of furious action, Don Nelson's jumper clinches the game for Boston. Russell's legacy is complete. In his 13 seasons, the Celtics win 11 world championships.
Back in the 60s, if you went to a barber shop or any place where fans gathered, they always debated one question. Who was better, Bill Russell or Wilt Chamberlain? Now, as a fan, I've been contemplating that argument my entire life. There's no way to decide because they were both such great players, and we're honored to have them with us today, Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain.
You didn't say that. You distinctly said that you thought that I had the edge. Distinctly said that.
I don't remember saying that.
Okay, all right.
But now listen, when I watched you guys play, it was always built up like you guys were such bitter rivals, not only on the court, but off the court too. But then I read somewhere that every time you played against each other, you would pick one another up from the airport.
Yeah. Well, you know, for some odd reason, it always seems vogue to have, you know, so the adversaries not liking each other. I mean, people think that for a while we didn't really like each other, we didn't just, and they always chose to believe that you cannot be as good as we both were, apparently, doing our thing, and really like each other. I had to be envious of him. The only thing I was envious of him was the fact was that people would, from time to time, call me a loser. Well, you know, if I'm a loser, then damn near everybody else who was playing was
Seeing that they won all the time.
They won all the time. You know,
They
so
want to
why
make
not
it
just
personal.
say you got the losing is basketball players in the world, and then you got one team that wins it all. So I mean, I was in great company as a loser.
What was the toughest thing for you playing against Wilt?
I could never play him the same way 2 games in a row because it would not work. And so through the whole time we played against each other, every game was different.
One of the points that Bill makes is that you played against each other so many times.
That's very, very correct. We got a chance to really vie against each other, you know. And my approach to, you know, the Bill Russell situation was a little different than his was to mine, is that I always looked at the fact that we were going against the best team in the world. And going to the Boston Gardens was like, you know, the amphitheaters of the Romans, where the Christians are thrown to the lions. That's what's going to happen to all of our other teams that went to the Boston Gardens, because they were so good and he was so good that you wanted to be able to do good enough that at least you can come and say, well, at least I got 40. You know what I'm saying? Well, at least I got 30. We only lost about 20, but at least I got 40. So I kind of did my job. You know. So, you know, but I can remember when I used to shoot a hook shot on Bill right here, he would go, are you kidding me? I mean, like I wasn't supposed to take a hook shot, you know, instead of help or whatever.
I'll take about 8 more of those, okay?
But the way that Wilt shot foul shots, maybe that's where you want to put him on the foul line.
No, it's not like as bad as people have you believe. He could miss half of them and still make 15. And then
I was once a good free throw shooter. Unfortunately, you know, my idols, I started watching he was one of my idols. And, you know, everybody talk about my free throw shooting and all that. And I'll take it. I mean, but when it came down to really to the time when they needed to put, I couldn't put it in there.
You know how to tell people?
Yeah.
Watch them shoot free throws. Then they wouldn't watch me.
No, but I mean, cute little story. I went to a psychiatrist, you understand, you know, and for about a month on my free throw situation. After a month, I gave it up. Somebody else paid for the sessions, $50 a session. I won't say it wasn't, you know. And after I came out of it for a whole month, the psychiatrist was a better free throw shooter than I was. You know, and so that's how it happened. You understand?
If you were playing today, how would you fare against today's centers?
That would be dishonest.
I would think that
that'd be a license to steal.
You see, I'm happy that I have a big mouth because I can say it's on my own, Bill. It wouldn't be a license to steal. You're right. I would love it. Oh, are you kidding me? I mean, it would be a joke.
But wait a minute. What about against the Elijah ones?
He's quicker than I am, but I believe I'm faster than he is. Or was at one time. I'm still pretty fast. No, but I just don't know of any center of the day that really the best players I played against, starting right here, were all back in yesteryear. I mean, you want to talk about Nate Thurman, Willis Reed, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I really am interested. How would you play Shaquille O'Neal, a player like Shaquille O'Neal?
Yeah, I'm interested in that myself.
Well, first of all, if you want me to be serious for a minute,
Yes.
I would make him play horizontal as much as possible. Plus, I would make him have to run up and down the court all day. I figure if I weigh 240 and he weighs 300,
40.
and if he gets to carry that whatever it is, up and down every time at a rapid rate, that the fatigue factor becomes part of it.
You know, you take guys out of your comfort zone. I wonder how Bill would play someone as big and strong and as fast as Shaquille. And he's right. You know, first of all, you just find the things that he does the worst, and those are the things you try to make him do the most.
So he just answered the question for you.
Yeah, I said I did it in a much shorter, more succinct manner.
Yeah, he's far more articulate.
If you were playing today, how many points would you average, you think?
In what, today, right now?
No, not right now. I mean,
Because
at
I
your
could get
peak.
maybe 30 right now, big fella. I'm trying to tell you.
At 60.
At 60, yeah, 30 and 60, you cut that in half. Yes, but at 30,
I call him
at
on
60
his
I could get
birthday.
30, but at 30, I could probably average 60 or 70. Yeah, and I mean, I'm saying that. I'm saying that politely. I'm not trying to just, you know, I'm not trying to dismantle your belief on how great the athlete of today is. But the game would best suit me. Believe me, would best suit me.
Same with you, Bill. Game.
My advantage would be, is like, for example, when the Bulls won the championship this year, they were able to nullify the centers. But see, my center position, I played defense more than offense. So that would not work
Yeah, make a
on
note
me.
about that.
You understand what I'm talking about?
Let me. He talks long on his points. That's why.
Put together me your top 5 players, excluding yourself and excluding Bill.
Yeah. Well. Okay. Larry Bird and let's see, Larry Bird, and I got to go with Jerry, Oscar, and Elgin, and probably Jordan or Magic. 6. You got to give me 6.
And yours, Bill?
Well, now you said
Can I have
big-
7 and put Sir Charles in there? Sir Charles is my favorite.
No, you get 6.
Okay, I'll
if he's
take
your
6.
favorite, he has to replace somebody.
Okay, I have to make him replace somebody then.
Okay, you said 6 players?
I'll
get
give you 6 players, yeah.
And I can't name him.
No.
Magic and Michael. Larry. Baylor. Oscar. And probably either Elijah Warren or Pettit.
Pretty good group.